In a 72-game regular season schedule, the San Jose Barracuda finished with 36 wins and 81 points. It led them to a first Calder Cup playoff berth since 2019. Now, as you know, the Cuda were eliminated recently in round 2 while facing Colorado, and while nobody's ever satisfied when their run ends, head coach John McCarthy can now start to see things a little bit more clearly as the dust has settled.
After taking a step back, taking a look at the season as a whole, there are a lot of positives to pull, from the season, from the body of work that a lot of the guys put together from an individual standpoint and a team standpoint. We had said that our goal from the beginning was to get our younger players playoff experience and put them in those high pressure situations, and we accomplished that. We, won a round, moved on to another round, and unfortunately, we weren't able to move on from that round. We were playing a good team, and we had some injuries that, we got to be honest, they affected our team. But at the same time, as you referenced, we took a positive step as a group.
One of those positive steps, which can't necessarily be quantified in numbers, is just getting back to a culture of winning. Cuda general manager Joe Will sees this Barracuda season as a big step forward, and not just for the AHL team, but also for its NHL counterpart.
It's so many years with the Barracuda and the Sharks of that we not only got in, but we did some damage in a lot of playoff series and got through some rounds. And then we didn't for a while, and took a step backwards. And it's hard to get that back. And now again, getting that, the guys feel that they felt that it hurt, it stung, and that's a good thing. And they want to continue that in the future.
Leadership alone was a huge part of what made the Barracuda different and improved in 2024-25. The addition of veterans Andrew Podoralski and team captain Jimmy Schultz not only gave this group the depth of Calder Cups and scoring titles to its name, but also the ability to set examples for the group's youngest players.
I think they really helped. Yep, I do. I think they really helped. And I think Colin White, Lucas Carlson, Scott Sabrin, the other members of our leadership group also helped. And I think being a better team helped. Winning helps. It's a lot easier to come around the rink. It's a lot easier to be positive. I think having a more successful team also helped.
Speaking of success, the team's second leading point getter was Luca Cagnoni. The puck-moving defenseman turned just 20 this past season, notching 52 points in 64 AHL games. He also had that 6-game run with the Sharks starting in March. The BC native gets great reviews for his body of work this past season.
What I love about Luca is he wants to get better. He's a sponge. He'll take hard coaching. He'll take any suggestions, and it doesn't faze him. He's curious. He wants to learn. He wants to get better. He's always smiling coming in. He's got an energy to him, and he's got to compete to him. So Luca's got a lot of really good things going, and just knowing his character is he's going to work very hard this summer to keep it going.
As far as what was expected going into this season, the biggest surprise for me was Luca Cagnoni. I think, he was coming in out of junior. We knew he was a high offensive guy out of junior. Looking at his size, I had my doubts out of camp, to be completely honest, but he basically squashed those in the first, 5 games. He's such a dynamic offensive player, sees the ice so well, grabbed a hold of that first power play quarterback spot right away and never gave it up. And, that's a positive thing.
So if we're looking at the bigger picture here for both the Sharks and Barracuda, this AHL success, it can't be a one-off. It just can't be a blip on the radar alone. It has to be the beginning of something that continues season after season until the Sharks are competitive year after year. It's a group that found their bar this year, but has also now set that bar for next year in terms of expectation.
Over the course of the season, I thought towards the end of the year and in the playoffs for sure, we kind of bought into playing the right way, and that's kind of a vague term, but thought we took care of the puck. We established a forecheck. We played a more risk-averse game. late in the season and down in the playoffs. And I think that's what we have to build off. I think, we realized that's what gave us success. And I think that's what we really have to lean into starting camp next year.